staying after for that one. So this is our third grade Georgia Milestone session. Uh-oh. There we go. I'm Kamaine Derman. I'm the instructional coach and the testing coordinator this year. All right, so first question is, what is Georgia Milestone? So it's a part of the Georgia Framework for Assessment. It's a summative assessment, which means it comes at the end of the year. And it starts in third grade and goes all the way to high school, to 12th grade. So it sends parents, teachers, the school systems signals about your students' preparedness for the upcoming year. This year, it will be held Tuesday, April 30th through Thursday, May 2nd. Very, very, very important that our babies are here, well rested, and on time. Oh, we got another one. Good morning. Welcome. No, hold on 1 second for me, Miss Mathis and Miss Wise. All righty. Sorry about that, ladies. Thank you for your patience. We had a little discrepancy with the link there. So again, our testing dates are Tuesday, April 30th through Thursday, May 2nd. The ELA test is on Tuesday, the first test. That one is the writing portion. So that portion is on its own. That's the only day where they're only taking one test. And then Wednesday, May 1st, they're doing tests 2 and 3. And that is basically just multiple choice, click and drag, drop down questions. And I think maybe a few short answer, but most of those short answer and written responses are on the ELA, the first test, test 1. And then Thursday, May 2nd, is math tests 1 and 2. So there's only one day for math test. Makeup tests will occur until May 16th if necessary. So if for whatever reason your child misses Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, please, please, please don't have them miss Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But if they do, if we always can't control things, can't control the weather, can't control our sickness, can't control all of those things. We will be retesting until May 16th. This Friday, the students have a practice test where they will actually walk through with with their examiner, they'll walk through the steps of like how to drop down or how to click and drag, or what do you do when you see a passage and you need to scroll down, like actually how to do those things.
When you
And
say that the first test is the written test, is it like pencil to paper written, or is it typing?
That's a great question. It is actually typing.
Oh.
So this entire test is done on the computer. We do not have any students in our building that qualify for the paper pencil test. That will be stipulated upon their IEPs or their 504 plans, and we don't have any students that need those accommodations. So they will be doing the traditional standard way, which is all online, including the typing, which it's a little tough, but yep, that's the system. Righty. And so here, what types of questions are on the test? So they have multiple choice items, technology enhanced items. The technology enhanced items are the ones that they're going to see on the practice test on Friday. So they'll actually know and be familiar with how to use those tools. A writing component, which is really a typing component. So they'll respond to passages, and that's in that ELA test 1 on that Tuesday, April 30th, as well as the constructed response. So just to answer your question again, the mode of administration is online. Paper pencil tests are available for the small number of students who cannot interact with a computer or device due to their disability, and we don't have any students currently in the building that qualify for those accommodations. Okay, so our scoring system, the scoring system for the GMAS is ranked on a 4-point rubric, much like our standards here at school are. You know, your student gets from a 1 to a 4 on their standards. It's the same way for GMAS. They are not compared to each other, but they are measured instead on how well they meet the standards. They're not compared to each other in terms of their scores, but when all the federal results come out, they are compared to their peers based on how well they did on the standards, if that makes sense. So their test score does not depend on anyone else's knowledge but their own. But then when we look at the state of Georgia's data, that'll tell us how our students are doing by school, by region, by county, those types of things. And their achievement is classified into 4 performance levels: beginning, developing, proficient, and distinguished. And those test results are provided to you all and to us when they are released from the test. It's a pretty quick turnaround because it's all online. For instance, the practice tests that are taken on Friday, we get those results right away. So it is a quick turnaround for GMAS. I think it's about a week turnaround. And then a lot of school districts does use Georgia milestones as a promotion indicator, a sole promotion indicator. But here at Peace, we do not use this test as the sole indicator of promotion or retention. Okay. So this is a overview of what each level entails. So if you have a beginning learner in ELA or math, that's here for you. I also have this linked in the presentation. I'm going to send it out to you, as well as some QR codes at the very end, so you can pull this up for yourself. So next question, are students with disabilities required to take the GMAS? The answer is yes. Federal requirements and the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act mandate that all students participate in the state assessment program. All students must be tested in all GMAS content areas at their respective grade levels or course. So if your child is in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, if they are a gen ed student, if they are a student with exceptionalities, they will all be required to take the Georgia milestone, and any accommodations that they may have will be applied to that test. Any questions? No. Okay. So probably the big question that you're wondering is, how can you help at home? So to prepare for the test, there is a testing website that Godot set up. And this has tons of resources that you can use. There's a study guide in there if you want to print out that study guide for your scholar. You can also see what the online test is like. It's free and open to everyone. They're just general representation. They don't assess student achievement. The scores won't be, like, nothing will be scored. It's simply just to see how the test is ran. And then Miss Carol coming up will be requiring nightly homework that will be based on their academic performance. So where they are now, we call it March Madness, right? So we're getting into testing mode, we're getting into the groove. We're trying to do all those last minute things that we can do to make sure that they are doing their best on the test. And then here are 2 of the resources here. If you want to scan that QR code there, it'll take you to the resources page. And if you can't do that, I'll put it up in Parent Square as well. Okay. Helping your baby at home. Encourage them to follow directions carefully, avoid careless errors, and review their work at all times. Like, even if they're doing homework, if you ask them to make their bed, doing dishes, just kind of make sure that they are doing it carefully. They're putting attention and care into the things that they're doing, because that follows them, across the rest of their lives. Explain the purpose of the test. We're doing that here at school, of course, but it also helps to hear it from their parents. Yeah, so you're basically just showing what they learned in school. Try to keep the pressure to a minimum. We have some very high anxiety students, and especially when it comes around to testing, we want to make sure that we're taking care of their mental health as much as possible, because this is already a stressful time for them. I can't imagine telling them that they have 3 days of testing for 2 hours a day and expect them to just be like, okay, cool. No, that's unrealistic, right? So we want to take care of their mental health as much as possible. Remind them that some things may be more difficult than others. There are some questions that are test questions. They are not scored, but they're pilot questions for next year's test. And so some of those questions may be developed already for standards that are coming out next year that they haven't covered this year. So maybe they absolutely have no idea what this question is talking about. So we're just wanting to teach them how to persevere through those hard things. So important. Get them to bed. Get them to bed. Feed them good food for breakfast. If you choose to have them breakfast at home, we have breakfast here, of course. We're never going to turn them away from breakfast. Taking tests is hard, and it can require a lot of energy, and we want to make sure that they have that energy by getting good rest and good food. Please get them to school on time. Rushing stresses them out. I know it stresses you all out. Those 3 days, let's just wake up earlier than usual. So that way we don't have to rush. Maybe wake up earlier so that you can go slow. Going slow is a great way to start the day. And make sure each test morning is pleasant and stress-free. No distractions, as much as possible, for their little 3rd grade brains. All right, so here is a video, a quick video about how to support your babies.
Exam season is
Can
upon
you
us,
hear?
and as parents, it can be a really
Yes.
worrying time. Exam stress can affect how our children feel, think, and behave, worth remembering that one as parents, and they might experience different emotions before, during, and after exams. Stress can be a really useful tool to help us achieve, yet it can also develop into a more unhealthy type of stress if it's not monitored and managed effectively. When feelings of stress become too much to manage, this can affect our mental health or make existing mental health problems feel harder to cope with. So, what can we do as parents? We can provide opportunities to have conversations that are unrelated to exams, alongside offering a space to listen about any exam worries that they do have. Try not to interrupt, just listen, and when they finish, see if there is anything that you can problem solve with them. Release pressure elsewhere in their life and cut them some slack. Doing little tasks for them can show them that you understand that they're trying hard and going through a stressful time in their life. Making their bed for them in the morning or making them a snack for after school are all ways to show them that you care. Let them know it's good to take regular breaks when revising. Laugh with them still. Watch something funny together on TV or play a game. Encourage their other interests still too. Ask open-ended questions about hobbies, what's going on elsewhere in their life, and leave plenty of space for them to share if they'd like to. Ensure they know that difficult emotions are normal. Exams and revision can be stressful. It's normal for us to have moments feeling overwhelmed, anxious, tired, low in mood. But do keep an eye out for emotions that seem to be stuck in your child. If you can't engage them in anything else or they stop looking after themselves, talk to them further and signpost them to support if needed. Encourage them, but don't scaremonger them. Their life will not end if they don't get the results that they were hoping for. There is always a way forwards. Remind them that this exam period is temporary. It's hard work, but it does pass. And there is a lovely break at the end of it where they can rest and recharge. And finally, this one's for you. Having teens taking exams in the house is no picnic for us. So take plenty of deep breaths and time for yourself where you can, and remind yourself that you can't do it for them. All we can do is love and support them and know that whatever the outcome, you will be in it together.
So I thought that was a pretty helpful video. Just for some quick reminders for us and for us.
Exam season is upon us, and as parents,
All right. So, speaking of the stress that they're probably going to feel, the stress and anxiety, after the test, we are going to have optional early release for third grade students. The test should be over we should be completely wrapped up by 11 o'clock on those 3 days. Of course, you do not have to come pick your baby up, but they will probably need some decompression, right? So if you choose to check them out early, it will not be a negative impact on their attendance. If you choose to have them stay, they're still not doing any work. Even if they stay here at school, you can't pick them up. You have work. You have other things that you have to do, and you can't get to them. They're not going to be asked to do anything over the top for the rest of those days. But yeah, we encourage you, if you can, to come and get them and let them decompress however you all do at home, to prepare them for the next day. All right, so upcoming meeting dates. Curriculum night is on March 28th. And at 5 o'clock, it'll be our second optional information session. That is just going to be a repeat of this session on the 28th at 5 o'clock. And then on Thursday, April 25th, that is our last parent meeting. And that one's going to be mandatory during drop off. And we have breakfast for you. We'll feed you. But it's just that last time, because again, the test starts on the 30th. So we want to see you one last time, April 25th, just to give you those last minute reminders. make sure that we're all on the same page about how testing looks and what to expect. So Thursday, April 25th is that mandatory meeting. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate you, ladies. It's a joy having your babies here with us at Peace. And I know they're going to do an exceptional job on the GMAS exam. So thank you all. And if there's nothing else, you ladies have a beautiful day.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.